Hey comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0, and fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do that all-important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision on what comic books to buy. And today, guys, we're going to be having a review/recap on The Walking Dead issue number 149. That's right, fans. Now, if you haven't read your issue yet, please read your issue and come back and watch this video, as there could be possible spoilers, so I don't want this spoiled for you. And when you're ready, just put your discussions down below. Alright, so we're one away from issue 150, and this is an awesome cover as you get to see Negan basically representing the devil here, because it says on the cover, the devil on your shoulder. And basically, this is what happens in this issue, is that Negan is giving advice to Rick, and it's kind of like, you know, how you have the good angel on one shoulder, and then you have the devil on the other shoulder, kind of whispering in your ear. And well, in this issue, you get to see Rick taking advice from Negan for the first time, because it seems like he is all out of hope. He doesn't know where else to go to give him advice, so he goes to Negan in this issue. This book is obviously written by Robert Kirkman, and the artwork is done by Charlie Adlard. Artwork is really good in this issue, as it always is. It's very consistent in here, and you know, not very much action, but a lot of dialogue. And it's actually something that we haven't seen in this issue in this series in a while. We've been mourning these people that have died. We've seen lots of anger between the residents of Alexandria, and now it looks like we're about to see some action take place in maybe issue 150. So in this book, we wind up seeing Negan come face to face with Rick for the first time in a while, and he's basically asking him for his advice. And you know, the dialogue between the characters are so funny. And he goes, "Dude, are you gonna let me out?" He's like, "Are we gonna kill people?" He's like, "Come on, point me in the right direction, man." He's just like, "Nah, sit the fuck down." And he's like, "Come on, man, it's crazy." He's like, "Man, I'm embarrassed." So if you had any hopes that Negan was going to team up with Rick and stop these whisperers, well, that's not the case. Basically, again, just like I said earlier, is he asks for Rick's advice here. We get to see some other type of issues going on with Dwight, as he doesn't want to be the leader of the Saviors anymore, and he basically wants to leave. And he's talking to this girl. I kind of forgot her name offhand. Laura is her name, and she's trying to convince him to stay, and how he's the bridge between Alexandria and Hilltop, and these people rely on him and they look up to him, and he just can't stand it anymore. So basically, it looks like you see Dwight kind of leaving here at this point. As the issue progresses, we get to see Andrea, Lydia, and Carl make their way back to the Hilltop, where they're going to keep Lydia in hiding because they feel that she could be in danger from the Alexandrians in the issue. We see that Maggie is trying to keep her spirits up, that Rick is going to come up with a solution to this Whisperer problem, and Eugene is all depressed on Rick not really acting on anything. So throughout the issue, you wind up getting to see, again, Negan and Rick talk to each other. Their interactions were priceless, as Rick always is going back and forth whether to listen to Negan or not, because he feels that Negan is full of shit at times. But when you really sit down and you read this book, you're going to find out that, you know, Negan was a leader for a reason in this book. He knows what to say to keep people in line, and that's basically what he's telling Rick to do. He's like, lie to your people. He's like, manipulate them a little bit. You know, tell them white lies. Don't give them the whole truth. Just get them back on your side. He's like, you were a person who people, you know, followed you when people became zombies and started eating each other. He's like, you got to do that again here. He's like, you know, who gives a shit about these people with these Whisperer guys, you know? Just tell the people what they want to hear, and they'll follow you. We get to see some other townspeople upset at the whole situation on what's going on with the situation, what happened with Rick and the deaths of their son, and then we wind up seeing some other, Alexandrians come to the door. It looks like that they might team up maybe to take over or something. Really not too sure here. And at the end of the issue, we wind up seeing that Rick goes to Eugene, and he sits there and he goes, "We're going to fucking war." He's like, "Get those bullets ready that you've been preparing this entire time." So, and at the very end of this issue, you wind up seeing Dwight getting ready to pack everything up. He's got his crossbow, which represents kind of like Daryl there. And he goes into a closet. Now, it's a huge spoiler. If you don't want to hear it, I'm giving you a couple seconds. All right. And he opens up the closet, and he pulls out Lucille. So what's he going to do with Lucille here? Does he feel... What is going on with Dwight's head right now? He feels like he can't lead. Does he have some unfinished business? Like, is he going to go after Negan? Like, what's going to happen with Dwight? Dwight is a major player going forward in this series. I'm not quite sure that, though, and you kind of forget about Lucille, that Dwight did take Lucille back in that all-out war issue. So this is a great book. I really love the story presented here. You always got to love Negan on his interactions between the other characters in the series. And this time around between Rick and Negan was priceless. And now Rick finally has some advice from Negan for the first time. And in this issue, he was kind of, starting to talk a little bit like Negan, cursing a little bit more. It's like you said, it's the devil on your shoulder, listening to that, those evil words there. So, really good book. Guys, in the comments below, tell me what you thought of issue 149 of The Walking Dead, and what can you predict going forward with this next issue in issue 150, and were you kind of pissed off that Negan wasn't teaming up with Rick and going out and killing the bad guys as maybe we all thought would happen? But yeah, tell me again in those comments below. And fans, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. Until the next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off, and thanks for watching. Take care, guys. See you soon. Bye.